think that Chelsea, there's a lot to think about with Chelsea and being 2-0 up, especially with the substitution of Berman bringing on Lucy Bronze. I don't know if that was for experience, for whatever, but then I think they ended the game with, was it I think Niamh Charles and Lucy Bronze at the back.
Yeah.
And that in itself said to me that, you know what I mean, there's a lot of work to be done. Buchanan probably still nowhere near fit enough to play that much of a game in respect of ACL. But in respect to the game, Chelsea being 2-0 up with the experience they had on the pitch, and it was for them to lose then it's worrying.
Yeah.
It's worrying.
I think that inconsistency this season for Chelsea has been one that we're definitely not used to, especially after the last 6 or 7 years and winning trophies and expecting what Chelsea's going to turn up. But I think for me, when I looked at the game and City were 2-0 down, I was like, it's going to be impossible to come back because of Chelsea, the players that they have and how they were playing as well. I think City had a tiny little bit of a hangover, probably. Not literally in terms of just winning the league in the week and that excitement. I think they did start slow. I mean, Chelsea hit the bar.
Yes.
Chiara made a save in the first minute. So the pressure was always on, and especially when you've got someone like Sam Kerr.
Yeah.
I think she looked lively. She caused a bit of a problem.
She did look lively,
to go 2-0 up and then to eventually get beat is, it does send out a few alarm bells, if I'm being honest.
I think the positive from a City point of view is for them to have won the league, to then go to Chelsea, who they've dethroned, 2-0 down, and come back says everything you need to know about City and their mentality right now. Because as much as I thought that there was a lot of chances, I thought Bunny done pretty well. Bunny, I thought it was one of those days for Bunny where the team that she's linked with, you know what I mean, she's missing chances against, but they kept going, and then in the end she got her goals. But I think that Chelsea were a little bit hard done by with that ball, what didn't go out of play. And
I mean, when you look back at the replay, it was probably still in. It
was still in. And again, I think that for that level of game, you need to have VAR. VAR needs to be involved.
Yeah, because there are big decisions in the game, aren't there? But like, just to touch on that mentality from City, and obviously being there and being in and around that group of girls, I think this season that performance there typifies everything that City have done this season. I think, like, always fight to the end. You look at Liverpool, winning in the last minute, scoring a header, and always finding a way. And you know what impresses you? And I think we've probably spoke about City maybe having that starting 11. Not really that much change, but actually Andre brought on subs in the second half. You look at Mary Fowler.
Mary Fowler's goal was brilliant.
Amazing for her to score her first goal back after ACL, and she's got so much talent and she can go as far as she wants to go because her technique is superb. But even like Iman Benny, she started really well this season but hasn't really featured that much, but coming on, making really crucial tackles and making assists, and I think that just gives us a little glimpse of what potentially could happen next season. You know
who I was quite pleased for in the end? I was really worried for her after that goal, what she let in was Chiara Keating. With the mistake. I was devastated for her because, again, we're talking about a young keeper who's looking for an opportunity. She gets it in the FA Cup. Obviously, the manager's rotated and he's given her the chance. And I thought that when she made that mistake, she came for that, misjudged it, and then obviously Sam Kerr just gobbled it up like she would do. I was worried for her because she's a confident character, isn't she?
She's confident, but I think, like, knowing Chiara, and obviously don't want to give too much away, like, she's desperate to play.
Yeah.
And imagine the pressure that you've got in terms of you're not really played as much as you want this season, but your games are the FA Cup games.
Yeah.
Of course there's going to be added pressure because that's your only opportunity to help your team,
and then
like, on a match day.
the further you go as well, the more the pressure mounts.
Yeah, you're one step away from Wembley. Everybody wants to get there. She's never played there before, so of course there's a bit more pressure, but I think to have that resilience after making that mistake and to make that save unbelievable.
I was so pleased for her to make that save, but the point I'm going to make with Chiara is that I believe she needs to move on from there. I think you see that mistake. I don't think that mistake happens if she's a regular number one, knowing that she's a number one and she'll be watched. I don't think she makes that mistake, but I think you make a great point, Steph, where she's coming in for the FA Cups. Obviously, the further you go in the FA Cup, the more pressure builds on it. She plays in a game against Chelsea, at Chelsea, and makes a mistake like that. I'm thinking that girl needs games. So she's somebody that's probably going to have to think about what she's going to do for the next season and the season after. When does she want to finally get herself as a number one somewhere where she's playing regularly? You know, where she can, because she's very good on the ball and the feet and that. She's very good. She's a good shot stopper. But I think the mistake she makes is lack of game time and being there.
And also, like, from a goalkeeper perspective, like, because she knows she's not going to probably play against West Ham in the cup, in the league, in the final game. Like, there's even more pressure because no matter how you play, it's not really going to influence the manager's decision at this moment in time, because that has been the pattern that's happened over the whole of the season, whether that's in the League Cup or the FA Cup. But I do agree. I think it's such a hard thing when you're a young player and you've experienced playing for a long time. There's a added pressure of a World Cup next year to try and play her and to impress and to get into that squad. So
she's got a lot of work.
There's so many different factors.
Yeah, so many. Hopefully something happens for her. If she's got a management team around her, they'll be speaking about the next move, because I think that we've got a great keeper in the making with her. I'm not saying that she's going to be the greatest ever goalkeeper, but I think that she's more than capable with the ability I've seen display up to this point in going somewhere and being a number one, getting that confidence, and then see where that takes her. But with Chelsea, when you look at Chelsea and the way it's finished for them this season, winning one trophy out of the 4 at the start of the season, you probably have Chelsea as favourite to be amongst all 4 of them. You know, there's a lot that's got to happen at Chelsea for me. I think they need some players.
Even a potential of finishing 3rd.
Yes. Yeah, I think they need a right wing back. I think they need a right wing back, left back. I think they need a centre back as well, obviously. Because the amount of players that's going to be leaving, like Sam's leaving, right?
Yeah, she's linked to be...
Ramirez, when she comes back from her injury, is she going to stay?
Aggie Beaver-Jones is out of contract.
See? And then you look, and so you can see the link with someone like Bunny Shaw. This is why Man City, especially what she done, where, you know, it wasn't a Bunny's greatest game, but she done what she does. She gets half chances.
That first goal, you know. That's why I was quite interested why Lucy obviously came on at centre half, because it's totally different.
Do you think she thought that it's the physicality of Bunny, maybe?
But Ian, you can't compete with her.
No.
There's not many defenders where I've thought you've had a good game against Bunny, because even though she's probably had a bit of a not as good as a game as she's had all season, but she's still able to produce 2 goals. And basically because of her strength and her ability to get up and head the ball, or even the first one, she's got her back to the goal.
Yeah, brilliant goal.
Touching, just knowing where the goal is.
Awareness to where the goal is. And again, this is why Man City, it's obvious why Chelsea will want her with someone like Sam Kerr leaving. You want a big name and for me, the best number 9 in the world at the moment in Bunny Shaw. That's what you want to replace her. This is why I'm feeling like City, the actual contract talks and Chelsea linking and putting it in the ether shouldn't even have happened in the first place, because City should have sat her down and found out exactly what she wants, because she's not only I know she's 30 now, right? But she's going to attract players to the club. You're going to want to play in that team with Bunny Shaw. You know, you're in the Champions League next season. You're going to need the best striker in the world to be there with you. City should not, whatever's going on, there should be no stalling on this. This should be done and dusted so she can go and have her summer, relax, and come back to go for everything with City next season. I think that the more they drag their feet and give her no opportunity, no choice, I should say, the more it's a chance that Bunny might have to. They might force her away simply because they're not making the right offer for somebody of that stature.
It's so like, obviously it's kind of bittersweet, isn't it? Because the girls win the league on Wednesday. Everybody's like absolutely buzzing. Rightly so, they've been by far the best team in the league this season. Consistent, really, really kind of just found a way to win. And like you have got the likes of Bunny Shaw that's able to help you win games.
Yeah.
But then the next day that story comes out and it's just so frustrating. I think for someone that's been involved, this has been a little bit of a pattern that we've had over the last 10 to 13 years, of that we get to a point where we're winning and we're winning trophies and we're competing at the highest, and then we lose key players.
Yeah.
And like we said this in the pod a few weeks ago. I think for me, the team needs to be revolved around the likes of Bunny Shaw, Lauren Hemp, Yui Hasegawa, and Alex Greenwood. I think
Mary
that
Fowler,
spine,
people like that. Yeah,
that spine that can compete with anybody.
Yeah,
and in terms of, I don't think it knocks where City want to go, but in terms of from a fans kind of point of view, it's so frustrating.
They'll be so dominant. You know, you mentioned Carolyn
and to a rival as well.
Yeah.
It's not as if she's going to go to La Liga and go and play for whoever it might be. You're actually going to go to your nearest rival, who we've just tried to stop for 10 years.
Yeah, just give her the money. Give her what she wants and start it off. Start it off, because then you're going to be able to, once Bunny's done her bit, think good luck to City going on, maybe win the Champions League, win the WSL again. But then at some stage she'll move on, and then the person she'll attract to the club will be a top name because of what she'll have achieved at Manchester City. You know, they'll say, I want to go there, I'm going to replace Bunny Shaw, and then they're going to carry on doing it. So I think that City have the capability now, with the players they've got and the players they will be able to attract, to really put down a marker on Chelsea. Because I think Chelsea, even though Sonia's now got
I still think it'll take them time to rebuild that squad.
Chelsea, without a doubt.
If they lose the likes of Samka, Ramirez, you've got Aggie Beaver-Jones, there's been rumours about Niamh Charles going. So, in terms of that kind of turnover, it's quite hard.
That's a massive turnover of some really good players. And you have to feel that with Sonia, like I say, getting a new deal, she obviously must have things in place, because the way the Chelsea season was going, you can see what's going on.
It sounds similar to Renée in a way.
Yeah.
Because Renée signed her contract, didn't she, when Arsenal hadn't really went through the best of forms, and we were quite critical of Arsenal because we expected a lot more, especially after winning the Champions League. But I think we said the same about Renée in terms of, surely there's things in the pipeline where you're thinking, okay, she's got control of who's coming in, who's going out, and it seems that similar to that in terms of Sonia and Chelsea.
Well, the thing with the thing with Chelsea though is that this is the first time, Paul Green, they've moved on.
Massive
it's been
miss.
a massive miss for them. This is their first summer or transfer window without someone like him. So you're feeling like the fact that she got the 5-year deal, there must be things in place where Paul Green's replaced, she knows who's coming, and they're going to come and then they're going to hit the ground running. Because if that's not what's going to happen, then Chelsea, I think they're going to have the season where you're expecting a high level from it, and they won't have it because they won't have the players to do it, and they won't be able to attract those players. Yeah,
I think that was probably the difference in terms of on Sunday, in terms of the game, and City reaching another FA Cup final, which is an amazing end to a season.
It'd be brilliant
to win the WSL and to then get to a final against Brighton. I think that'll be a special final. I think when I watched Brighton against Liverpool, it was a good game. Another comeback as well.
You know something, like we've said, with Gareth Taylor going to Liverpool, things are going to happen for them. Obviously, they stay clear of relegation in the end. We always thought that was going to happen simply because of who the manager was, and he'll be able to take them out of that. But then we wanted to see what kind of investment's going to be in the squad, and I think that's slowly happening. But for them to go 2-0 up against a Brighton side where you're thinking, who have never been to the FA Cup, you're thinking, oh, this game's done. Especially the way I watched the game and watched the highlights again. The Liverpool looked good. They looked very struggling, and then bam, it all just fell apart. But then again, Brighton didn't give up. No,
and I think that is a theme that we've seen from Brighton this season is, I think the difference with Brighton, I think they've always had a good style with the manager that's in, but I think they haven't really had that little bit of quality, and now you look at Fran Kirby.
Yes.
We know what quality Fran brings.
Yep.
But even Madison Haley, she's a handful.
Yes.
But I've been so impressed with her this. Yes, Seike, who we've mentioned a few years ago on the pod now, is one to watch.
You know what it is as well, Steph, is that when it went 2-0 down, and then you mentioned those players there, and the quality of those players, you did always feel like if they can get one, you know what I mean? You feel like they can.
It was good timing on the first one as well, because Liverpool had just scored the second.
Yes.
And Liverpool have been bad on corners this season. Every time I watch them defend a corner, I'm like, apart from where they played against City, they were brilliant on corners. But every other game, they've been, very vulnerable. And then Brighton go and score.
They scored, and even the goal, it seemed like a very easy goal. When the cross, and she just like towered above it, headed it in. And the last goal was a really good reaction in the box and a good
What
finish.
a finish, by the way.
Brilliant finish, because when you see it, you think, oh, she's just blasted it in the goal. When you look at it from behind the goal, she's launched it into the side net, and it was no chance. And, you know, it was fitting because what happened was they pushed them and the quality started to show. France started to get more and more in the game, getting the winger involved more in the game. They were afraid of the ball coming in the box because of Haley, and then you could see Liverpool kind of like backing, and then in the end, they got the winner and deservedly so.
Yeah, without a doubt. And even before, when Liverpool went 2-0 up, Brighton had chances.
Yeah.
I think in terms of getting down the sides of Liverpool's centre-halves with the players that they have who were able to dribble and to drive into space, I think that caused Liverpool to then drop off a little bit, which suited Brighton a little bit more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just like the way that Brighton play. And you know what? They've caused some big upsets this season in terms of, especially the last few weeks, they've had a big impact on the league.
So the predictions, so that's it really. So first is Kay. Kay's 107 points. Steph came fourth with...
I've moved up.
Yeah, she came fourth with 103.
Woo.
Yeah, well done you two. So well done you two. Nice one.
Where did you come?
Oh yeah, sorry, I came 21st, 89 points. And that's why, because look, Steph, you got Villa, Arsenal totally right. What did I say it was going to be?
Goals, 3-2. Goals, honestly, everyone.
I'm so bad at predictions.
Right, okay, this is your last chance.
But while I'm doing the predictions, I feel so right.
Well, as long as you feel like that, that's okay.
This is my last chance to make up, I don't know, 20 points.
Right, so there's a midweek game, which is Arsenal v Everton.
You know what? I'm going to go with Arsenal 3-0. Not just because you did last time, but just because I feel that that's what it's going to be.
I'm going to go 2-1.
Okay. So Arsenal. So Brighton Spurs on the Saturday. Brighton in top form.
Yeah, they are in
feeling
good form.
happy. Are the players going to be feeling, I don't want to go in because I just don't want to get
That's
injured?
That's a good game, that Brighton Spurs.
I think
probably
it
the
is.
two most improved teams this season.
Playing for places in the final.
I'm going to go 2-2.
2-2. I feel like it might be a draw as well. 1-1.
Okay.
Chelsea United.
That's a big game. Just in terms of... I'm still going to go with... I don't think United have ever beat Chelsea, have they? No. So I'm going to go 2-1 Chelsea.
2-0 Chelsea, I'm going to go.
Everton Leicester.
Everton Leicester on Saturday. I'm going to go with Everton. Everton to beat Leicester. I'm going to say 3-0.
Ooh. Leicester have got a big game coming up that week after. I'm going to go 4-1.
Wow.
Liverpool Arsenal.
I'm going to go Arsenal to beat them 2-0.
I'm going to go 3-0 Arsenal.
3-0 Arsenal. Mm-hmm. Okay, London City Lionesses versus Villa. At London City Lionesses.
2-0 London City.
I'm going to go 3-1 London City Lionesses.
And then West Ham v City.
West Ham v the champions, you mean?
Yeah, West Ham v the WSL champions, 26.
Okay. Your face.
I have to say as much because it might not happen again.
City 3-0. I'm doing too many 3-0s. 3-1. I'll give West Ham a go.
I'm going to go 2-0 City.
2-0 City.
Yeah.
Next week we do have the playoff to predict. So
Charlton v Leicester, which will be a good game.
I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
So that's it. So I'll see you next week.
I enjoyed that. Thank you.
Yeah, it's nice. Oh yeah, in the next episode we've got a very special guest for you guys. Annabelle Blanchard's coming onto the show. I'm so pleased. You know, obviously Palace getting promotion. She's one of the main reasons they did that. She's a player that I really, really liked in the season where they unfortunately went down. But she's going to be coming on, so look out for that.
Can't wait.
And then we'll be back.
Yeah,
we will be next week. So take it easy, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.